Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Coffee Run Live. It is Thursday. I can't believe it is Thursday. Where's the week gone? I partially know. We've been doing these 6 a.m. calls every day with my 30-day challenges, which has been so much, I've got to tell you, it's been so much fun. And it's just been really amazing. I'm just a little bit late this morning. I have been furiously journaling, as we do. I've got the blog ready and written. It's really exciting. But then I was like, I can just kind of like punch out a quick sales page. So I was hoping to be able to talk with you today about this event that's coming up in July in Las Vegas and on the Gold Coast in August. And I'm like, I haven't got anything ready yet. So I've been in a bit of a spin. It is the whatever date is Thursday. It is, I don't know what I'm going to talk with you about today. So what would be really awesome for me is to get my charger charging instead of being not working. So I thought that maybe the first thing that I would talk about is this whole thing around trusting whatever comes up first and foremost. So I was journaling today and it's the way that my blogs usually start. It's like, okay, so what do the people need here today? What do I need to say today? And sometimes it takes a while for that to kind of come out, which I find really freaking frustrating. I've got things to do, I've got people to talk to, I've got, things to create, I've got so many different things to say, and sometimes when it doesn't come out fast enough, I'm just like, argh. But then what happens, I don't know if you guys have experienced this, the thing that tends to happen for me is that when I start handwriting and then my hand won't keep up with my head, I'm like, okay, I literally write in my journal, type. So I got through today and I've gone, let's see. So it says but what happens is that when you start doing well, and it was all about this theory around competition and innovation and innovating your content. And, if you want to, what happens is when you start to be seen as a leader in your industry, we want our content to inspire our prospective clients, right? We want our message to resonate with them. And sometimes what happens when you're starting to really kind of up the ante and you start to put yourself out there more, one of the things that can happen is that we can start to inspire other people in our industries around, they start to look for us for inspiration. They can start to look at us for going, what, they're saying that, she's saying that. Yeah, I can totally say this in another way or the same way. And I think the thing that happens is that it's fucking annoying, actually, if I'm just really blunt about it. And, whenever I've noticed it, sometimes synchronicity happens. So sometimes I'll go out and I'll be talking about something and then something else will be brought to my awareness. And it's like, oh my God, I just literally said that 2 hours ago. So there is this whole theory around the collective consciousness and how what you think and your genius and the ideas kind of are wandering around up there in the cosmic soup. And the way that I kind of imagine it, it's really quite graphic. It's almost like the if you're awake, you're awake, you're ready. It's bang, I'm ready for this idea, and then it's almost like a trap door opens up, and then the idea comes on down into your head, and then the idea is articulated out of your mouth or out through your fingers while you're writing or while you're typing. Now, that's great, right? But I guess the thing that happens is that if we're all going around with these little trapdoors of consciousness kind of opening, going, yep, we're ready, and then we we shut off, we do the thing. I guess the thing that happens is that sometimes that idea or that notion doesn't necessarily get actioned by us. Sometimes it gets actioned. And then if it doesn't, it goes off and it toddles off into somebody else's open trapdoor so that they get to go and implement and do the thing. So I do think that there is an element of that. But I know for me, way back when, like I would look to other people in my industry, not for things to say, but certainly for as being different sources of inspiration. So I would look at other people in the States, I'd look at people in the UK, I'd look at people who like Tony Robbins of the world, for example, or Christopher Howard. Like I'd look at what they were talking about and the kinds of things that they were saying. Brendon Burchard is another one that I used to look at a lot. You know, the back when he was all about the live life matter. I think he still is now, but I remember watching like way back then. And just kind of going like, oh, you know what, this seems really interesting. This seems really fun. Like I'm really inspired by what you said. And then that can kind of create a thought train or a thought process and things like that. Where I think this, for us, for you and I who are about innovating, we're about creating great content, we're about creating message, but we're also really about connection, right? At the end of the day, we're all looking for connection with our hot cold clients. We're looking for being able to create that connection and get them to move and do something with what we're putting out there. My daughter said to me last night, did you pick up what I just put down? I'm like, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So it's kind of like that, right? But when you're looking at, or when we're worried about what our competitors are going to think, or our perceived competitors, if we're worried about that, or if you're looking at a competitor for inspiration, then it can lead to a couple of different things. And one of those things is that it can really lead to confusion, it can lead to overwhelm, it can lead to a whole lot of self-doubt. Why? Because the stuff that I've experienced in the past, not so much these days, but certainly in the past, very rarely these days actually, has been around, well, you know, wow, they are so great at articulating and talking about the thing that they're talking about. Like who the heck is going to listen to me? You know, I couldn't possibly explain things in the same way that they are. I couldn't possibly do things in the same way that they do. And it can lead to these little gremlins of self-doubt and questioning your own self-worth sometimes, questioning your own experience, questioning your own knowledge. And then that usually leads people to go back and go, oh shit, you know, I've got to go and study. I've got to go get another qualification. I've got to go and get another modality under my belt. So the thing that we want to do, in my opinion, and this is advice that I've given to brand new startup people and to, you know, very successful business people, is to put the freaking blinkers on. And I wrote in the blog that's going to go up today, I talked about the 3 U's. And it was unfollow, unlike, and unsubscribe. So if you're feeling kind of like you're being influenced by the messages that other people are putting, by other messages that the other people in your industry primarily are putting out there, then instigate the 3 U's. It might feel a little harsh. It might feel like, particularly if it's someone that you like or whatever. But the thing that I've found is that if we've got all of these competing voices and you're trying to really find your way in this evolution of you, because this happens again and again and again as we grow and evolve and change, because, you know, we're all committed to self-growth and self-actualization and becoming the best fucking versions of ourselves that we can be. And that requires you to evolve and innovate and constantly work on, although it's not hard, but constantly work on being the best damn version of you that you can always be. Now, and therefore things are changing. Like you are not the same human that you were 6 months ago. You are not the same human you were 3 months ago. Shit, you're not even the same person you were yesterday. You have so much more knowledge. You've had a whole 24 hours of new experiences that you can now draw upon, new information that you can draw upon. So it's impossible to be the same person that you were back then. So I guess the thing here is that we're always looking for a way, no matter how far along in this business journey we are in or on, or this content creation journey that we're in and on, this messaging journey that we're in and that we're on, we always have to be, or we're always looking for a way to cut through the noise, cut through the bullshit, be seen and be heard in order to be able to help our audience, our hot cold clients, to be able to bring them in. So the thing that can happen when you're about to like kick into that next revolution, because it's like the revolution of a wheel, right? It goes around and then it comes around and then it comes around. What can sometimes happen is we start to look outside of ourselves again. Like, you could have been really good in this, at this level, like being kind of insular and just going like, yeah, I'm fucking owning this. You know, I've got my groove. I'm in my path. I'm in my zone. You know, I've got my shizzle all together, and like, you're nailing it. But then this next evolution and revolution happens, and you can kind of end up here, and then something else like needs to change. And sometimes what we can do is look outside of ourselves, and that influences your message, and that influences the content. So the best thing you can do is the 3 U's: unfollow, unsubscribe, and what else did I say? Unlike. So that would be, like, particularly for other people in your industry. If you find that your newsfeed is filled with, and I used to have this all the time. I used to be known as the Facebook ads person. And I was just like, I don't want to be known as the Facebook ads person. And I would always get these advertisements for Facebook ads people and, you know, funnel creation and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, no. So anytime something like that would come through, I would I would hide it. I would block it. I would unfollow the page. I would do whatever. If I was getting emails like way back when, like right in the early days, I'm talking like 2010, 2011, there were some people that I was following, and like more as kind of like a research type thing to see what they were doing, the way that they were doing it. I remember back in 2010, I think maybe 2011, where I remember looking at a particular email that came through from a very well-known marketer, and I was like, oh, that's the system that they use. So I would kind of go and do my little digging and researching and things like that to try and work out how to piece all of this internet stuff together, because back then things weren't as accessible. So eventually, though, when I was like, it was impacting my ability to feel like I could say the things that I felt like they needed to be said. I was like, oh, maybe I need to go and do this. Maybe I need to go and do another certification. Maybe I need to go and actually get a marketing degree. You know, maybe I actually need to go and do this, that, and the other, because, you know, this person looks like they're doing that. And so what I did, I decided to put the blinkers on. I was like, for my own mental health and for my own sanity, I had to go and unlike a bunch of pages, unsubscribe from a bunch of people, and even unfollow some people who I was connected with personally on Facebook as well. Because I'm just like, this just isn't working for me. So I know that I've been under the influence at different times in my life over the way that other people communicate and the things that other people say. And I'm like, well, yeah, that's a really great way of saying that. You know, what's my spin on it? And things like that, where it's kind of like, I guess, singing karaoke. You know, you've got the words up on the screen, you've got the song going on, and if you're trying to sing in the way that the original singer was singing, it just becomes a really great carbon copy if you're really good at singing, which I am not. So my husband keeps telling me. Although in another life, I'm pretty sure I am like the pink person who swings from things all through stadiums. I'm pretty sure that is actually my reality in another realm. But anyway, you know, it's like we can't just copy the way that other people talk. We can't just copy the way that other people create. We can't copy the way that other people message. We can have a look at a framework, but if that framework or if that stuff is really influencing and negatively influencing the things that you're doing or rocking you, then instigate the 3 U's. The other hand of that, obviously, or the other side of that, is that it can really confuse your audience, right? Because if you're showing up on a live stream in a particular way, and then they start talking to you offline maybe, or as a client, or they're in a room in an event with you and you're completely like different, then that doesn't work either, right? It's not something that you can maintain or sustain, because you're always looking for that external motivation or that external inspiration or the external impulse to come in order for you to be able to create, where really all we need to do is sit there, open up our little trapdoor and let the thing come in our head so that we can actually get out and articulate the thing that we need to articulate. So trust that that's helpful. And this really is about you being able to create your marketing, your messaging, your imagery, your content in a way that is unique, that is really, like I wrote in my journal today, it's like for a lot of people, their industry, and this might be similar to your industry, it can be like shrouded with this veil of thick bullshit that is just like, gross. And so what we want you to do is to be able to create a message that just kind of like a scalpel just goes like whoosh, and cuts through that bullshit veil that's out there, so that people can really see that what you're talking about is right and true, and pure is the word that I feel like I need to say, without any bullshit, without any crap, without any sort of bullshit, really. I mean, there is so much of it going around, right? So it's really crucial that you're able to walk your talk. It's crucial that you're able to articulate what you need to be able to articulate in the way that you do, in the way that you believe is right, just and true, so that other people can then really hear it. Because otherwise, it's just like their ears are clogged and they don't even know that you're talking, which is super unfortunate, because you're amazing and people need to hear from you. So that is our impromptu live stream today. I trust that that's helpful. Make sure that you instigate the 3 U's, being unfollow, unsubscribe, and unlike. Anything that is creating any kind of angst in you, anything that is creating any unfortunate inspiration where you end up saying similar kinds of things to someone else. And I know you guys don't do this on purpose. I know for me, I didn't do this on purpose. It was just like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. I can talk about that too. And then this is what I could say. Because I didn't fully trust in my own knowledge and my own experience and my own ability, actually, to say what really needed to be said and in the way that it really needed to be said. So you're amazing. You can do it. And it is really important. So there you go. Get out there. Go help some people. Be visible while you're doing it. And of course, the world is ready for your brand of awesomeness. I will be talking with you tomorrow. I don't know when. I've got some clients arriving tomorrow for a couple of days for a cool little hot seat that we're running here. So I am going to do my best to come and have a chat with you at 11. I'm really hoping that I'll be able to share with you all of the information for Visible Live that is happening in Las Vegas next month. Vegas, haven't been to Vegas in ages, and up on the Gold Coast in August. So I will share all of those with you, and we're going to be it's a 3-day business immersion where we're planning, we're building out foundations, and we're actually implementing so that you can market yourself like a rock star, because you're a freaking badass and you can totally do it. So I will talk with you about that tomorrow. If not tomorrow, we'll talk about it tomorrow. There you go. I've just made sure that I have to go do the things that need to happen now to make that happen. All right, everybody, have a really great Thursday. If you've got any questions about anything, make sure you let me know. Otherwise, have fun, and I will talk with you tomorrow. Bye now.